The Venice area residents have a very special connection to their library. They are connected in the most classic sense of what a free public library means, as the place where individuals, young and young at heart, may pursue their dreams. This library has always been a community hub, a safe place where ideas, education, history, conversation, technology, and literature all meet. This library serves as common ground, a place that draws everyone together, regardless of their backgrounds, ages, and any differences that may seem to separate us. The William H. Jervey Jr. Venice Public Library Project is one characterized by incredible collaborations and a high level of community engagement. Your contributions as members of this community were essential. First, you came along with us and shared your ideas for what types of services and programs and learning opportunities you wanted to see in a new library. And then you assisted us in translating that vision into a beautiful and vibrant library, your library, one that will be enjoyed by residents and visitors for years to come. As you join us in walking through the doors this morning, you'll see the results of all of those conversations. The opening of this library holds special meaning for me. This is where I first began working in public libraries, and I was fortunate to be encouraged and guided by very wise colleagues. In recent days, some of you have shared with me and reminded me that your children grew up at the library. We won't say how long ago that was. But you mentioned that those kids who came to my story times are now adults, some of them bringing their own children to the library. So this morning, we have so many honored guests. I'm going to get started with the welcome. I'd like to recognize our Sarasota County Commissioners, Charles Hines and Alan Mayo. Thank you for joining us. And our leader, County Administrator Jonathan Lewis. Welcome. Also joining us this morning, Deputy County Administrator Steve Botello and Assistant Administrators Mark Cunningham and Brad Johnson. Welcome to you. We have former commissioners joining us today, John Thaxton and Shannon Staub. Thank you for being with us. And welcome City Manager Ed Lavalle and our Communications and Logistics buddy, Assistant Manager Len Bramble. A warm welcome to Mayor John Hollick and members of the Venice City Council. Thank you for joining us this morning. And welcome to our library family. If you would, if you're here, please stand and remain standing as I call you out, or if you're standing, wave your hand. First, at the head of the family table, Dr. William Jervey. I'm going to go fast through the rest, so stand up if you would. Friends of the Venice Public Library Board and members, boards and supporters of the Library Foundation, Library Advisory Board. Wait a minute. What's all that racket? Hey, it looks like our very own Venice High School marching band. Thank you and a welcome to Director Jonathan Case and the Venice High School Marching Band. We're going to let those folks get in place. And now, if you would, we're going to please rise for the presentation of colors and the national anthem. Please be seated. Thank you. We're so grateful to the Venice High School for the color guard and for the marching band joining us this morning to celebrate. And I see that we're joined by Councilman Daniels and Cotero and Fiedler, and I want to give a warm welcome to you all. Thank you. So we were recognizing the library family, and foremost on my list, I believe, that we didn't recognize yet are the incredible employees, the staff, the managers, the leaders who make your library experience really outstanding. So if there are library employees out here, wave or stand. Thank you. I'm pleased now to introduce a leader who knows firsthand the significance of a library as the heart of a community. Please join me in welcoming Commissioner Charles Hines.
Thanks, Sarah Beth. Before I get into my prepared comments, let me make two statements. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but when that flag went up, I got chills. I really did. Proud to live in the best country to ever exist on this planet and one of the best communities in the country. So, great job. If that doesn't make you proud, I don't know what else. The second thing before I get into these prepared statements is anyone that has been involved in this library, at times, sometimes controversial, and now all positive. The one superstar in all of this that has been the bedrock and has always had a smile on her face and has made this happen is Sarah Beth. So can you all give her a round of applause? So let me also, Commissioner Mayo's with me here today. We were talking earlier, no sunshine law violation. There's no sunshine today anyway. But, these types of ribbon cuttings are so important to our community. And this is the third major library that we've done in just the past few years. And if you really think about that, considering coming out of a recession, that we've been able to do that as a county commission, that's something I know I'm very, very proud of. So, great job. So as a board, we understand the connection this community has with their library. So it was important for us to invest in this project. After all, libraries are truly the backbone of our society. They serve as a great equalizer when it comes to the availability of knowledge, self-empowerment, and self-improvement. We have one of the premier library systems in the state, if not the country. And it's because communities like Venice take pride in their local library. So again, I'm going to go off script. How many of our citizens have library cards? Someone may say that later, but it's amazing. 70? Over 70% of our residents in Sarasota County have library cards. It's just incredible. I'd like to thank everyone who took the time to share their thoughts and expectations about what y'all wanted in our new library. That process was very important. I know I attended a couple of the meetings over here at the community center, and having everyone's input like that was very, very important. Growing up here, the library played a very special part in my life, so I know firsthand how important this library is to our community. Over the years, I spent a lot of time in this place and have a lot of fond memories of the library growing up here. As you remember, now we have the high school, obviously, over here, and the elementary school, but when I was a kid, we had all three schools right lined up, Venice Elementary, Venice Junior High, and Venice High School. So we always would come over here and partake in the programs that they had. I know to me this is where I learned to play chess, and that was fun. Then we moved to high school. I think I've said this before, but it's true. This is where all the smart, pretty girls would come over. And so that's about the only way you could get the football players to come over here this is where they were. So that was a lot of good memories. So to me, to put it simply, community pride is what makes Venice such a special place to live. It's reflected in each person in this audience, in every person who walked through the doors of the old library, and in each person who gets to experience everything this beautiful library will offer. Thank you for making Venice such a unique, caring, and wonderful place to call home. Again, I want to thank Sarah Beth and her staff for the hard work that they've done to get us to this point and what they'll continue to do in the future. Their efforts create everlasting memories and pride and provide worthwhile service to what makes this library so beloved. Of course, I'd like to thank Dr. Jervey and his generous donations. And if there's anyone else out there like him in the audience, please feel free to come forward. We have other places we'd like to name, but thank you very much, Dr. Jervey. Yes. And then I also want to give a special thanks to the Venice High School Marching Band. And as you can see, I don't know, when you started hearing those drums come over, I don't know what other small town or whatever you want to call community like this has such great pride, and it's so many people are here today, and that the high school comes in, that's just amazing. So Sarah Beth, they're going to do another song for us. So how do I strike up the band? All right, hit it.
Thank you again, Commissioner Hines. Sarasota County has scores of initiatives that are underway every single day. This library construction project encompasses hundreds of county employees and numerous departments collaborating to reach success. Leading this team of dedicated employees is our county administrator. Please join me in welcoming Jonathan Lewis.
Thank you, Sarah Beth. And in interest of the band director wanting to, I'm sure, move his students on as quickly as possible, I'll be brief. I only joined the county in April of 2017. So what I know about this project is the absolute fantastic collaboration that has taken place, whether it was the part of the county commission insisting on having excellence here, the great work from staff, the great community investment by individuals and community groups who have cared about what happens to this wonderful community asset. So that's what I've gotten to experience on this project. What I've also had the opportunity to see is our fantastic county employees moving heaven and earth to get this project done on time with the resources made available to them, and then making it even better when additional resources came in from the community. Whether it's our purchasing folks making sure that we had the right vendor to build the facility, design the facility, all the work that goes into that. We're just so lucky to have our library staff who made sure it was perfect in the transition, and we had the library services up and running during the meantime, our capital projects folks keeping us going, and just a great organizational effort to get us here. I just want to mention a couple of things because I think so often people forget about the little details when we get to such a beautiful opportunity, not an ending, but opening. So there's been more than 37 subcontractors and suppliers working on this project. You've got over 62,000 labor hours on this project, and 60% of the subcontractors and suppliers were local here to Sarasota County. And about 500 workers contributed to this project being the success that you're experiencing today. Again, I want to thank everybody, but as the county administrator, I just want to thank our amazing Sarasota County staff working in collaboration with everybody else to make this happen. Sarah Beth, I want to thank you personally, and Ann for the work you've done and your team to get us here. Thank you.
What a privilege it has been for us to become acquainted with Dr. Jervey. His generous legacy gift inspires us all to be library users and advocates now and in the future. When you visit the library, chances are better than even you're going to see him there. He participates in activities every single day. Well, you can understand why he might call this library home. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Jervey.
Thank you so much, Sarah Beth. This is the greatest day of my life. Yeah. I can honestly say that without great libraries, I would not be here today. And to have this beautiful library in the city I so dearly love named for me is absolutely awesome. But I must tell you, I was a severe critic of the county of Sarasota when they announced they were going to tear down our old library. Like many of you here, I suspect, I love that old library. I was there almost every day, and I hated to see it go. But I think this may well be the ultimate lemons to lemonade story. Yeah. What we have here now has already been referred to as the crown jewel of the Venice Culture Campus, and I suspect that's an understatement. And I really think we have created a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. When you see the interior, you may be even more impressed. I've got to thank the Sarasota County Commissioners for two things in particular. One, giving us a very acceptable temporary library at the Hamilton Building. How many of you have used that? Good. And of course, the extraordinary staff that we have here with the Venice Public Library, all 10 of whom will be coming over here to the new library. And I want to thank the Sarasota County Commission for hiring one of America's really most remarkable young architects, Todd Sweet, for designing this new library. He's a remarkable, with his colleagues at Sweet Sparkman Architects. They not only designed a remarkable and unusual library on the outside, let's wait till you see the inside, but they listened to what the people here in Venice really wanted. They held multiple opportunities for the people to speak as to what they wanted in their new library, and it wasn't just a perfunctory exercise. They actually incorporated a great many of those ideas into the design. And so what you have here today, and the interior especially, is quite different than what they had in mind to begin with, and it truly is a library of the people. And I'm so pleased to say that. And I also want to thank the Friends of the Venice Public Library, who not only have raised more than $1 million to do a lot of things extra than what we had originally intended, but that also have made sure that we are going to have one of the most energy efficient libraries. Would you believe this is the first library in Sarasota County that is going to be powered in large part by solar energy? Yeah. Yeah. That assumes, of course, that we can raise $260,000 to put solar panels on the roof. And for that, I must thank Clyde Butcher and so many others who have lent their time and their prestige to the project. So if you want to give something to really improve this community, give it to the solar energy project here at the Venice Public Library. Well, finally, let me simply say, one of the nicest things I've always found with the Venice Library is how user-friendly it is. Most libraries, when you go in, the first thing you see is the prohibitions. No food or drink permitted. Not at our library, never. If you want to have a cup of coffee, if you want to have a snack, you are welcome to do so. And I am so delighted that in the new Jervey Library, we're going to do the same thing. In fact, I understand there even is to be a Keurig machine in there so you can make your own coffee. Next week. Okay, Deborah says it's going to be next week. Well, it'll be soon. Okay, right. Well, finally, I used to say that I spent so much time at the old Venice Library that it was like a second home to me. Well, I'm going to amend that just a bit. This now is my home. The condo is like my second home. I just want to say I hope you enjoy this beautiful new library as much as I expect I'm going to. God bless our library. God bless you all.
Dr. Jervie, thank you. We're looking forward to making this more of our home as well. Thank you. No project of this magnitude can succeed without support from creative, committed project partners. I'd like to take a moment to thank the visionary architecture firm of Sweet Sparkman. And with us today from that firm is our project lead, John Bryant, with colleagues Kim Lamb, Nicole Crow, Michelle Demperio, a community engagement guru, Dick Waters, and who's that other guy? Oh, yeah, Todd Sweet. Thank you. You've seen the exterior that these folks have designed, Trust me, the interior is going to knock your socks off. We are so proud to have been your partner. Thank you again. And next, our Get It Done construction partners, Ajax Tandem. Representing that team today is Peter Hayes, Bill Byrne, Jeremy Cox, and the dream team of folks who were here on site every single day. Our gratitude to team leader Rob Culpepper. Where are you, Rob? He's way back there. We're going to give each of these people a cheer because these were the real dream makers. So, colleagues Bruce Marnell, Gabriella Canuga, and Rochelle Brooks. With the support and commitment of these individuals and their colleagues, this library is opening. Commissioner Mayo, this is for you, on time and on budget. So let's give a cheer for that. I'd like to take the opportunity to recognize some others who made our dream a reality. Rob Bendis and Lindsay Ogles, who recreated the wonderful Walter Farley Literary Landmark. I can't wait for you to see that. Brad Gobbets and the whole Capital Projects team from Sarasota County, and our heroine and official member of the library family, project manager Kim Humphrey. Thank you, Kim. Shelley Walters, who supported our groundbreaking event and was the ringmaster for today's event. Thank you, Shelley. I would be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to John Whistler and Sue Corcoran, who transformed our Hamilton building, and with gratitude to the city for that space, into a library that was adequate and more so. We heard every day how pleased people were to have that site while we were building this one. So thank you to them, our facilities, IT, and communications coworkers, and my libraries and historical resources colleagues, Pamela, Jennifer, Alexi, and Cresta. Thank you all. So that saying, you gotta have friends, brings me to my next introduction. No project can be a success without community involvement. The wonderful Friends of the Venice Public Library have been and always will be a valued partner. They work closely with staff to develop library programs, extraordinary services, and this beautiful space that benefits our residents and visitors alike. It's my pleasure now to welcome Deborah Kostrin, President of the Friends.
This is just a thrilling day for me, and I think for all of us who were here at those early meetings that were maybe not as pleasant as we would like, and get to reap, as Dr. Jervey said, turning lemons into lemonade. You will just love it when you see it. But I wanted to thank Sarah Beth so much, and all our wonderful supporters with the Sarasota County government. Thank you all, commissioners, and Jonathan Lewis, thanks so much. And we want to thank our dear friend, Bill Jervey. Without all of your help, this fabulous facility would not take place. We also so appreciate the ongoing support of the City of Venice and our council members who are here with us today. And the Reading Garden is fabulous. Wait till you see it. And we have many community partners that I want to mention. We want to thank the Gulf Coast Community Foundation, Julia Cousins Lanning, and that Farley exhibit is a credit to her. The Venice Nokomis Women's Club, who have been volunteering here and who were at the start of the library in Venice in 1926. We want to thank the Community Foundation of Sarasota County and the Kathleen K. Caitlin Foundation, the Venice Lions Club, and I know you all are here volunteering too, and the hundreds of wonderful supporters in this community. This is an amazing community, and you will see when you go in that we have had support from such a large percentage of people. I also want to deeply thank, and I would ask them to stand and wave, the members of the boards of the Friends of the Venice Public Library. Please stand up. They have done just a wonderful job. Come on, stand. Thank you. They've been working tirelessly, along with our director, Camille Klein, and I know you're hiding somewhere. There you are, Camille. Thank you. Thank you so much. Our volunteers, we have many volunteers who are here today and who every day work in the library and work in the bookstore and just support everything we do. So we really want to thank our volunteers. And we especially want to thank the incredible, fabulous, wonderful Venice Library staff who we love and work with on a daily basis. Thank you. And as Bill mentioned, though we're opening today, our campaign isn't over. We still need a few things from all of you. We need to complete our Light Up Our Library campaign, which, as Bill mentioned, Clive Butcher has generously donated the incredible photograph, Myakka Swamp, which he's given to us so we can raise funds to put those solar panels on the roof. And you'll be hearing lots more about that going forward, but it's a gorgeous picture. We need donations of books and media for our One Book per Venetian ongoing campaign for our bookstore. So bring us your books. And we need all of you. Please pick up a membership brochure when you go into the store, and several of our board members have them too, and join us so that we can continue to make this library a home for us all. We want to continue enhancing our community through this magnificent library for decades to come, and we can't do it without your support. But thank you so much all for being here and for the wonderful support that you've given the library and this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Thanks to all the Friends, board members, and members. This beautiful building is certainly one element of great library service. For me, most essential is the helpful, knowledgeable, welcoming staff. And the staff at the William H. Jervey Jr. Venice Public Library fits that description and then some. Let's welcome Manager Ann Hall.
Well, I am Ann Hall, and I'm the very proud manager of this magnificent library. And welcome to everyone. It's been quite an experience moving from one location to the other, but we are now home. I would like to thank all those who made this project such a pleasure. Thank you to the many different departments of Sarasota County, the City of Venice, the wonderful construction company Ajax Tandem, our project manager, Kim Humphrey, who kept us on the straight and narrow, and the talented architects of Sweet Sparkman. I would also like to say thank you to Sarah Beth, who went over and beyond, Jennifer Perry and the entire library administration staff, as well as Alexi and her crew. And we could not have done this without the support of the Friends of the Venice Library. As you may have noticed, the name of the library is now the William H. Jervey Jr. Venice Public Library. And it is in honor of the man who donated $1 million, I cannot even imagine, to the library so that we can have the interest in perpetuity to do the enhancement for this library to make it a very special library. And last but not least, I want to say a heartfelt thank you to the staff of the William H. Jervey Jr. Venice Public Library. We have moved out of one building into a small room at the Venice Community Center, then to a larger room, from there to the Hamilton building, and now we are here. It was a lot of moving, and they have done all of it with grace and, for the most part, good cheer. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I couldn't have asked for better people to work with. So, staff, stand up. I am very proud to stand here before you and welcome you to the new William H. Jervey Jr. Venice Public Library. If you think this building you see before you is beautiful, just wait until you come inside. My wish for all of you is that you will be as amazed and as pleased by the building and all it contains as we all have been. I hope that this will become your library, everyone's library, for many generations to come. So, welcome to your home away from home. Thank you.
So thank you again for joining us today. We invite you now to help us open this library. Following the ribbon cutting, and once the doors are open, you're going to find some entertainment inside, some refreshments, and a few surprises. I see there are giant scissors and a ribbon, so please join us now and gather at the library entrance to cut the ribbon.
Do you have a preference as to which side?
Drum roll, please!
Boom, 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 boom.
3, 2, 1!
Scared the daylights out. I think there's a ribbon cutting today.
Yeah. I hate to be the one that has to try and clean it up over the rain gets to donate.